Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Hollywood Hubbies Film Club.
Hey, hey.
We are on this week's episode, we are going to be discussing movie number 2, which is Mary Poppins. Last week we did our review of The Wizard of Oz. It was a two-parter, so make sure you go back and give it a listen. At the end of every episode, we're going to be spinning our little scramble wheel on our phone, and it will give us our movie for the next episode. That way you can all watch along with us ahead of time.
All right. So, like Brandon said, today's movie is Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins was released in 1964. It's considered a live-action, animated, hybrid musical, directed by Robert Stevenson and produced by Walt Disney, with songs written and composed by the Sherman Brothers. The screenplay is by Bill Walsh and Don DeGrady, based on P.L. Travers' book series Mary Poppins. It stars Julie Andrews in her feature film debut as Mary Poppins, Dick Van Dyke, David Tomlinson, and Glynis, is it Johns?
Yes, Johns.
And for anyone who loves Hollywood studio history, know that this film was shot entirely at the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, California, using all painted background scenes from London.
Which are amazing. They're so beautiful. So, yeah, Mary Poppins received a total of 13 Academy Award nominations, a record for any film released by Disney Studios, including Best Picture, and won 5, which were Best Actress for Julie Andrews, Best Film Editing, Best Original Music, Best Visual Effects, and Best Original Song for Chim Chim Cheree. So, pretending that I know nothing about your Disney background working for the company, I'm going to ask you, have you seen this movie before? And what is your first and fondest memory about it?
This is true. I did work about 6 years for the Disney company. I, of course, had seen Mary Poppins before. I think that as a kid, it was just such a cool movie because of the hybrid nature of it all. I will say that the idea of real people mixed with cartoons
Mm-hmm.
was always something really, really cool. Obviously Roger Rabbit was
Yes.
another movie that was really cool by doing that. And Bedknobs and Broomsticks was one of my faves. That as well had the same type of vibe as this movie. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I had seen it before. Definitely was a movie that we watched a lot growing up. How about
Yeah.
you?
Um, Similar. Well, I didn't work for Disney, but I mean, I definitely watched it growing up. It's one of those movies that you could put on in the background and then like listen to the music, and you don't really have to like
Be paying
being
attention
it.
too much.
Yeah, it's such a fun movie that like no matter what, like there's always something going on.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
um, yeah, and what is the name of that song? I know we're gonna get there, but the Feed the Birds.
Mm-hmm.
That there are a few songs from my childhood that little Jeffrey would get very emotional with.
Mm-hmm.
And something about that song, Feed the Birds, it's just so pretty, but it like, I don't know, there's like a sadness to it that I would always get from it, and it would make me cry.
Kind of like the Chipmunk Adventure song with the little
Yes, that
penguin.
one. And then there's
I
another
think that
one.
hit a lot of children when we were younger. I think that hit a lot of
Yeah,
us.
the song, but you also have to watch that the actual scene with the penguin.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And what was the other one that I know that always used to make me cry? It was from like what is the one with the little mouse?
American Tail.
Yes, and there's a song in there.
Was it the first one or the second one? The
I,
one where they go to the West.
I don't know, but what's the very popular song from that movie?
Oh, somewhere out there.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
that's from the
that
original. Yeah.
that song made me cry.
Those movies had good music too, actually.
Yes,
So, not to go too far off tangent,
I
right?
know.
The
You're gonna get those a lot. We do that.
right. The movie's opening, I mean, in general, I feel like the score does say so much about this movie. I think that it's it's a very classic musical type of score because you
Hmm.
get a little you get a little hint, little tidbits of songs that are going to be
Hmm.
throughout the movie
Yes, it's
musical.
very Broadway, and without it being
Mhm.
originally a Broadway production that they
Mhm.
made into a movie, they made that, which I don't. a lot of the time you don't really hear that in older movies. I feel like it is more of just they wrote an intro to the movie, not necessarily like we're giving you highlights of what's to come.
Right. Yeah, I like the highlights. I feel it's so classic
Hmm.
musical. We start out in 1910 on the street, intro by Bert, who's played by Dick Van Dyke, who we will, of course, go into depth later about. What's really random with the intro of everything, the neighbors that are shooting the cannons from the house, it's almost, there's like, we very quickly get introduced to two neighbors that are like a old captain of a ship, and yeah, they have a cannon at the top of their house that fires
Yeah,
off.
I don't know how I feel about that if I had him as a neighbor. It seems like they're all just so used to it and they put up with it
Yeah,
like
it's like, who's
around the
this?
house, but I don't.
Yeah, like, who's this crazy old man that's like shooting, cannons off the street? I wonder if that character in the books is more, if there's more of like a purpose to that character, because I always found that really
Maybe, or
odd.
they probably give a much more detailed introduction to him if he is from the books. I have no idea. I've never read them. I know that I had an aunt that had the whole collection, and I remember because of the movie, I would look at the covers and stuff, but I never read them.
Yeah.
So, one thing I will say about the beginning of the movie while the score is playing is they show that aerial shot of London,
Hmm.
and it's very foggy. Is it fog or is it smog? Like, what are we looking at?
Oh, I think
Is it
it's
pollution or is it just a cold, foggy day?
I think it's just cold and
Oh, okay.
foggy. Maybe the it's supposed to be like the chimney stacks even that are going off.
But
Not
then that would
sure.
be fog. I mean, then that would be smog too if they were all. I don't know. That was what I that was where my brain went. I'm like, is this pollution or is this like just a chilly, foggy day?
Especially
Very random, but
growing up in California, our smog is very
yeah,
different than that. It's like, it's almost haunting, like Sleepy Hollow.
yeah.
So we meet the Banks family, who is on the struggle bus. George and Winifred Banks are struggling to manage their household and the kids, Jane and Michael. The children are unruly, and George is focused completely on his work, lacking parental connection. And Mrs. Banks returns to her home in Edwardian London after a suffragette rally. And that's the first song that we get, that
Hmm.
sister suffragette song. I can tell you, I I do adore Glennis. I think her voice is so cool, so unique.
Yeah, her speaking voice and her singing voice. She's just a very unique, like you hear her and you know who it is.
Yeah, and I think that the setup is really cool because it does create a conflict immediately at the beginning of the story. She doesn't just want to stay at home and be with the kids. She wants to go out there and, fight for activism. And he's gone all the time. He's
Hmm.
like, no, you need to stay home. You need to work. You should be taking care of these kids. And that's why we have a nanny.
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Banks are on such opposite sides of the spectrum. Him being very conservative, very man is the head of the household, and she's fighting for women's rights. But at the same time, it's also causing such an issue with the home because they're both kind of neglecting their kids.
Oh,
I mean, he
absolutely.
thinks it's okay because he's like, well, I'm the man. Like, I'm gonna go to work, and then I'm gonna come home, and then I don't really want to spend time with them. Like, hey, kids, is very much the attitude. And then she wants to go out and fight for women's rights, but then at the same time, she doesn't even know where her kids are, and she's like, oh. Don't you know?
Yeah,
Isn't she with the nan? Like,
and they
aren't they
run
with the
away,
nan?
right? They run
Yes.
away, and they get brought back, and that's what prompts their current nanny to quit.
Hmm.
Katie Katie Nana.
So, interesting fact, the actress that plays Katie Nana is Elsa Lancaster, who was the Bride of Frankenstein. So,
Oh.
super iconic role.
Yeah, that's really cool. I know this actress because she played a character named Jessica Marbles in this comedy called Murder by Death. It's a really silly detective spoof movie if anyone needs a good laugh, but that's where I know that actress from. I had no idea about Bride of Frankenstein. That is really iconic.
It's like everybody knows, even if you don't know who the actress is. I think everyone knows Bride of Frankenstein, and not just the costume, but like the original photos from the movie, and like have they know her face.
If anyone's gonna go back and watch this movie after listening to this episode, it's literally gonna be because of that. Because it's
Because they want to
cool.
see Katie and Anna.
Yeah, yeah. So that night, Winifred's husband George returns home from his job at the bank, and we get the song "The Life I Lead." I don't love the song, but I do adore David Tomlinson. I am a huge fan of Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. I loved The Love Bug growing up, and
It's so interesting that he was in two movies around the
hybrids.
same
Well, The
time that
Love Bug's
were,
kind of a hybrid too. No, not really. I don't know. Not
but
really.
especially Mary Poppins and Bedknobs and Broomsticks. So much of those, I mean, not so much, but
No, there are
visually,
visually.
they look very similar.
They even did a celebration for him later on in life after he had passed away. They inducted him with the Disney Legends Award, which is something that a lot of these actors look forward to when
Mm-hmm.
they're voicing these famous characters or part of the Imagineer team and all of that. So it is pretty cool that he got that award, even if it was after his passing. But yeah, I think David's great. I don't love the song, but he's great.
And
Uh,
that song is explaining
Next,
what I had just talked about like being the man and the head of the household, and you know
very much
what
so.
he expects out of his life.
In the subtle way, it's really like the boxing gloves songs against each other. It's like a little boxing match between them. It's just an easy setup.
Yeah.
So after the kids return back home, they know that they're, in trouble and that the nanny quit. And so the kids want to place their own advertisement about what type of a nanny they prefer. Jane and Michael present this idea that they want a really sympathetic nanny. And they sing this song called The Perfect Nanny. But of course, Mr. Banks thinks it's, a lot of,
Rubbish.
yeah, and rips it up and throws the scraps into the fireplace. And after he does that, there's like a strong wind that comes through the
It's
house and the chimney.
magic.
Yeah, a magical
It's
wind
magic.
comes through the house and takes the ripped up pieces of paper up the chimney and into the sky. It's really interesting in regards to what the kids go into of what their needs are for this new nanny. It isn't even just like they want like a sympathetic, kind nanny, but they also want a nanny that has no warts and gives them
Well, how
sweets.
many nannies did they have before that had
But
warts?
and
Like,
doesn't smell. Like, calm down, little brats. Like, come on. Like, who? Like, what the heck? Like, jeez.
well, I mean, I don't want a nanny that smells.
True. Good point. Good point. I'm like, dang, their wish list is pretty intense, though.
That one I can understand. The no warts thing,
Yeah,
like, come on.
and give us sweets. Like, you gotta earn your sweets. You don't just be expected goodies.
So Mr. Banks takes it upon himself to put the nanny ad in the newspaper,
The one that he wants.
the one that he wants, because the other one is magically gone. Um, and the next day, there's a line of nannies outside the door. They are waiting. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of nannies in London, it looks like. So then that same magical wind blows away all these nannies, and then we see Mary Poppins floating in the distance and slowly coming to the Banks household. It's a very cool shot, and we see Julie Andrews for the first time in her very iconic outfit, which we'll talk about later, but we didn't realize how many different versions of Mary Poppins outfit she had.
Yeah,
in different colors.
Yeah, you get a few different like iconic styles of the
Yeah.
same look, right?
Mhm.
Kind of like different versions. It is a really cool effect how they do that big magic wind that like blows all of the other nannies away.
They're like, some of them are on wires,
For
and
some
some of them are
reason,
doing like total like full flips
like
in the air.
somersaults and stuff.
They were really going for it.
I kind of forget that scene happened until we just watched it recently. I never really paid attention to that part. So that was cool, like seeing
Yeah,
it with
it was
older
very well
eyes.
done.
It's
Blown
kind of like
away.
Mel Brooks style, actually. Though how gag like
How silly it is.
yes,
Yeah, it
yes.
is very silly, but it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. Um, I gotta say, upon first looking at Mary Poppins, I love her bag.
Hmm.
I love her little compact. I love her umbrella. I do not like that hat.
Hmm.
It's like the little hat with like the fake flowers on it. It just is so.
Maybe it's too old for her because she is so different than all of the other nannies that were there. Maybe the hat's a little. Does it age her a
I
bit?
don't know what it is. I just
The
that's so
hat is
that's
not.
I was like, her dress is, it fits her very nice. The other things are very kitschy and cute. Like, it's a very unique, but then the hat just wasn't doing it for me. I didn't like it. So Mary Poppins arrives in response to the children's wishes.
Right. Yeah, she didn't see Mr. Banks's ad,
Hmm.
but she got the letter that blew up into the sky
Yes.
magically that the kids wrote.
So she comes in for her interview. She pretty much takes over the interview. She's
Yeah.
like, "No, I got the job. You don't have
Yeah.
to worry about it. Let me get to work." And Mr. Banks is, he's kind of left like, number one, how did she get
The kids.
the kid's note? And he's kind of looking at that the whole time. And the whole time he's looking in the fireplace, she's basically hired herself. It's pretty funny because she doesn't wait for a yes or no. She's like, "No, this is my job. All right."
Yeah, it's really just like sarcastic but playful. She really just like
Mhm.
takes control over the interview and situation.
We got to talk about how she gets upstairs, because she literally sits on the railing and then rides it up.
So the kids are automatically like see a glimpse of her magic that she
Yeah.
has.
And even the other housekeepers,
Oh, that's right.
they literally are like tucked against the wall
Yes.
because they're like, "What is happening?"
Yes, there are two other supporting characters that we have in the Banks household that are really, really funny. One of them is a housekeeper, and one of them is a cook.
Whoever the shorter one is, she gives really good facial expressions.
So after she gets upstairs, she goes into the kids' room. She notices how messy everything is, and she tries to teach them how to basically turn a mundane task into like a fun experience. So she uses a little bit of her magic and sings the iconic song, "A Spoonful of Sugar."
Mm-hmm.
She really is sarcastic, isn't she? I really think that this is why a lot of people love her. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, she's got this way of like telling you off without like really telling you off, or it's just a smart way of saying it so the kids don't realize that, like she's scolding them or telling them the truth about something. Because even the tape measure with the height being like a different description of what you are, like, oh, your height is that you're a brat or that you're mouthy. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we should have those. Like, I don't know, like parents should have those so that they could just be like, oh, okay, like someone needs to jump on that on Etsy and start selling these tape measures that basically you could measure your kid and it'll tell you like what they're.
That would be a funny gag gift.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
maybe.
like that.
Yeah, for like
Disney
a
no.
baby shower or something. Like give someone that as
Yeah.
a gift. I think it'd be funny. You can measure your kids' moods. But it is interesting that she teaches them how to clean up their room, but she's basically still doing it with magic. So like, is she really teaching the kids how to clean?
Watching it as an adult compared to watching it as a kid, it makes me think, I don't know if I'm more of a cynic, but I'm like, is this like a metaphor for like we're playing pretend?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is possible though.
Like we're seeing magic, but she's basically saying like, let's sing a song and like let's play pretend.
That is possible. It is. We don't.
And
have
I know
kid-
that it's
we don't
Disney.
have kids, by the
I
way,
know
you
that
guys.
it's Mary Poppins. I know that this is magic, but I'm saying as an adult, I look for is her game really? Is it make believe?
Yes. I never thought about that. Is all of her magic make believe? You
Maybe.
just blew my mind with this. Is all of her magic just us, like not?
I mean, we're seeing it in the movie, but like, was
Yeah.
like, is Mary Poppins just a really good storyteller? And she's like, these little kids are just we're like we're using our imagination.
Is she the
Like,
biggest con artist, you guys? Like, I mean, that I
I don't
didn't
know.
think about that. So yeah, they clean up their room with magic, and we're all supposed to be like, "Wow, the kids clean their room," but I mean, like, they really clean their room. Like,
No, they snap their
yeah, they
fingers.
snap their fingers. Yeah, so after they clean their room, they're getting ready to go for a walk on the park, and we get to see before they leave, we get to see some of like the magical elements that Mary Poppins has. Like she has this really cool magic carpet. Wait, not a magic carpet. She has like, well, she does. Well, it
That
is.
comes later in Disney's
Right.
history.
But she has this carpet bag that is magical when she's unpacking, like setting up her room, because I mean she's living there, right? She has like her own room.
Yeah, she's a living nanny.
She's a live-in. And yeah,
They're
so
rich like that.
so we get to see these like big items that she's pulling out of it.
The kids keep looking in it, and they want
Yeah.
to know where the stuff is coming from, but they have
Yeah.
no idea. They keep looking into an empty bag, and then she'll go back and she'll pull out a lamp. By the way, I love her lamp. She's got good taste. That was a really cool lamp.
So after they clean their room, unpack Mary Poppins' new room, they go for a walk to the park, and they encounter Mary's friend Bert, who is really like a jack of all trades. Like he's a chalk painter. He What else does he do?
I think throughout the movie we see him do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he
He's
does like
he's
four
a
different things,
man.
right?
I think he's hustling.
Yeah,
He's trying to make.
he's a chimney sweep. Mm-hmm.
In the beginning of the movie, he had that band.
Yes, like the one man band.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. So he is like a jack of all trades to legit make some money. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
hustling. And this, in one of his chalk drawings, the kids are, as they're doing the story, storytelling with everyone, the kids are seeing one of these chalk drawings and they're saying like, "Oh, we would love to go here to this place." And it
I
is
think he kind of prompts them. I think he's like he's going along with it, or I shouldn't say going along with it, because now I'm just going off of my it's all fake. He knows of Mary Poppins magic, and he tells them that she can take them to far off places, and so he's showing them the different chalk drawings, and I believe that's which, like, where do you want to go?
and they choose this like beautiful countryside one.
Yeah, he draws an extra bridge on it and an extra road before they
Before they jump
before
into
they
it.
jump.
So this is our first real world into cartoon world transition. And as I said before, like as a kid, I think everyone will agree. Why was this the coolest just like film trick that could be done? Real humans with the cartoon
Oh,
animated
I thought you were
world.
talking about them when they jumped and turned mini.
No, but yeah. No, but that's cool too.
Yeah.
That's cool too. But yeah,
I
like
also
why
want to bring up something I didn't notice as a kid, but Bert and Mary, Dick Van Dyke and Julie Andrews, their tension in their scenes, like their romantical tension, I guess, it's so good. Like, I know that maybe that's not, I don't know if they were going for that or not, but like their banter basically with each other, it's giving tension.
Yeah, I almost wonder if that was a note from the director where he said like, "Oh, they have a past together or they had some sort of a relationship prior to her returning." I mean, obviously we know that they know each other, but I think you're
They do
right.
it
There's
less
a
with words and more with like subtleties. Like in
Mhm.
that, like just them bickering is like it shows their chemistry. And even later when they're in the drawing.
Yeah, they have like a lunch date together
Mm-hmm.
in the drawing. And I think that during one of the songs, he's mentioning a whole bunch of other girls' names, and she
Mm-hmm.
gets a little like jealous look on her face. I wonder if in the book there is history, more of a history on their past together.
I don't know. But yes, going back to what you said, this scene, when you first see it, it is so cool. The backgrounds, the illustrations, them with the different animals the penguins that are in their tuxedo, their penguin suits, basically.
Right. Right.
The horse race.
That's right. Wait, do they ride on a carousel first and
Hmm.
then yeah, they go on a carousel
They go
first,
on a
right?
carousel, and then the carousel driver like presses a button or
And
like
then they
does
all
something, and then their horses are released.
so beautiful. So
It's
cool.
so cool.
So cool. Yeah, the penguin scene is obviously really, I mean, it's a famous scene, and those penguins are used throughout a lot of other like Disney history type of films.
Hmm.
So there is a horse race that comes up after their lunch date that they have together, but on their lunch date, they sing Jolly Holiday.
Hmm.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Jolly Holiday is probably my favorite song in the film.
Mm.
I think that, the dapperness of it all is all so charming, and I love like the zany penguin dance at the end too. I think that that's a fun way to like wrap up the scene.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the penguin dance reminds me of Gene Kelly in Anchors Away when he does the dance with it. It's a mouse, right?
Yeah, I
Is
think
it
it is
Mighty Mouse?
oh, I think it no, yeah, it's a mouse for sure.
Yeah, that definitely reminded me of Anchors Away. It was given that synchronized dance feel that was very cool.
The Jolly Holiday costumes as well are very iconic for Bert and Mary. That's
Hmm.
something.
Oh my gosh, are those the only, you as a Disneyologist working for the company before? Are those the only um outfits that they do the live characters in? Is it always those um white
Mostly,
carousel scene outfits?
I don't even think you really get Bert much in the parks. I don't think you ever get Bert.
No,
I don't think so. I don't think there's a live action Bert, but Mary,
I think there is. I
really?
think I've seen pictures. I don't
Well,
think I've ever seen.
well, the barbershop quartet that is around Disneyland on Main
Mhm.
Street, they are dressed like that. I think
Oh,
they're dressed
didn't
exactly
know
like
that.
like Bert. Pretty sure. I'm
I
sure
should have known
people
that because the colors are the same. But
people who are Disneylandologists will will like chime in with
please,
like
no,
comments and
correct
stuff.
us, please, because I don't know what I'm talking about.
The
Don't you
outfit.
think that it's a missed opportunity if they? Uh, I know that they usually do Mary. We're not sure about Bird, but from my knowledge, they're always in those white outfits.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be cool? And maybe they've done it, maybe they haven't. But if they haven't, it's a missed opportunity if they've never had them in the park in their regular clothes with all of the coal marks on them. Like, because that's such a cool we'll get to that part later, but like that's such a cool scene,
Mm-hmm.
and it's such a like iconic part of it with them like all,
With the
all
coal all
all
over
of the
them.
soot.
Mm-hmm. And when she's like powdering her nose with the actual like
Yeah,
coal in her compact.
that would be such a cool outfit to have them in the parks.
And have people done that? I'm sure people like cosplayers have probably done that before. So after their date, Bert and Mary participate in like a horse race, and of course, Mary wins.
I do love that horse race though, but I feel so bad for that little fox, that little anxious fox that's being chased.
Yeah, that is really, really sad.
Wait, because that was happening at the same time as their carousel race. Was at
The
they had
fox race,
the well, no, it was like a fox
the
hunt.
fox hunt.
Yeah, that's not nice. So Mary wins the carousel horse race, and she uses a nonsense word to describe her victory, which is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I always get scared when I say it that I'm going to say it wrong, and I'm going to get corrected. Um, yeah, that scene is really cool as well, and I will say that the candy apples that the kids are eating, they look so good.
I love when cartoons can make food just look so good,
Yeah, because when it's bad, it's really bad.
right?
But when it's good,
Oh my
I
gosh,
want it. And I
right?
want those candy apples. Is the candy on candy apples, is it peppermint?
Ooh, I don't know.
What
I'm
is
not
the
sure.
red? Because
It could possibly be different in London.
I don't know, because I don't usually go for the red candy apples. I'm more of a caramel apple person.
Well, most of our American candy apples are probably more caramel apples, I think. So after the victory, it starts to rain. There's like a thunderstorm that happens, and the thunderstorm basically dissolves the painting that the kids that they have all jumped into. So before, the painting completely washes away, they come back to the real world.
What would have happened? Would they have been stuck?
I guess maybe. Maybe, yeah. That would have been a whole other movie. It would have been like horror Mary Poppins, where the kids and them are like trapped
In this
in this world.
melted,
Yeah.
washed up chalk world.
Right? So Mary gets the kids home and she sings them a lullaby, which is basically a song called Stay Awake.
It's
And
her reverse psychology
yes,
song.
it's her con artist mentality that she has over them. And, you know, it's interesting that when she's putting them to sleep, the kids are like, "Oh my gosh, what a great day we had. I can't believe like all of these amazing things we had in this magical world." And she basically like denies it to the kids and letting the kids know, like, I don't know what, for lack of a better words, like acid trip imagination you kids are on, but we didn't do any of that. And she gives them cough medicine so that they go to sleep.
Is that what it is?
I thought that it was like cough medicine because, or is it like vitamins?
I don't know.
I think it's cough medicine because they were just out in like the rain and the storm, and she wants to make sure that they don't get sick the next day.
Mm. And they all get their different flavors and their different colors that come out of the bottle.
Maybe it is vitamins, and I just thought that she was drugging the kids to go to sleep with like liquid Benadryl.
It's something because Mary Poppins was a cocktail because she hiccups. Hers was like rum punch.
That's right.
So she got her little after work treat, I guess.
Right? So after that first magical encounter that they have, the next day.
Wait, before you go to that. So what are your thoughts on the song Stay Awake? Do you like it?
Forgettable. In fact, when we just watched it recently, I was like, oh, I don't really remember this song.
Does it have music or is it literally a cappella? Is it just like a quick little a cappella lullaby?
I mean, I legit just said it's forgettable.
Okay, well, there
so
you
I
go.
have no idea. Yeah, not my fave.
Maybe they were so bored with the song that they
Right?
fell asleep.
Right?
They thought the same thing about it.
A boring song and some liquid Benadryl and good night, kids.
Oh my gosh.
So the next day, for their next little magical encounter that they have, Mary and Bert end up taking the kids to go see their oddball uncle. Whose uncle is it? Is it Bert's uncle?
It's someone's uncle.
They go to see.
Maybe it's like grandma from the Addams Family.
Yeah, they're like
it's just Uncle Albert.
Yeah, they go see Uncle Albert, who is uncontrollably laughing, and it's causing him to float in the air. And we have a musical number called I Love to Laugh.
Uncle Albert is played by the iconic Ed Wynn. Another, when you hear him, you know that voice. It's such a memorable voice.
It is. Well, he originally was like a vaudeville icon. I know a little bit about his life because, yes, as we mentioned, I was involved with the Disney company. So I knew a little bit about his life. He was definitely famous during the vaudeville era. Most people know his voice as the Mad Hatter from Disney's Alice in Wonderland, the original cartoon. But he also was in The Absent-Minded Professor. I think he may have been in one of the Flubber movies as well. And his Oscar nomination was for The Diary of Anne Frank, if anyone has seen that film or loves that movie.
I love that movie.
But, I mean, he is hilarious. And I honestly think that half of Dick Van Dyke's laughs in this scene are real.
Oh, like you don't think that he was putting it on? You think he was just cracking up?
I think it was just genuinely he was cracking up by it. It seems so real. But I do love that scene. When I was a kid, sometimes I didn't get it. I was like, I don't understand. Like, why are they trying to get him down? Like he's just like having a good time. But
Because nobody else can know about the magic.
you know,
If he's floating, then people
yeah,
know that
people will
there's
know.
magic.
I don't think I understood it as a kid, but it was one of my favorite scenes as a kid. I will say that.
So, not to get morbid, but does that mean that everyone in the world is just really unhappy? Because if you were truly happy, you would float up in the sky.
Could be. Could be.
So we're all just
We're all just getting through life.
nose to the ground in the grind of daily work, that we're just all sad and miserable, that
Well,
gravity
keeps us down.
keeps us down.
That's an interesting way to look
I
at it.
mean, I'm now looking at these things as an adult and going like, well, if happy and laughy means you're floating, then nobody's happy.
Oh my gosh.
Or at least in the Mary Poppins world, you have to be you're stuck on the ground.
That's too funny.
Because the carousel horses floated too.
Yeah, true. True.
Yep.
So the kids come back home after their Uncle Albert encounter, and George, Mr. Banks, is annoyed by the household's like cheery atmosphere. And he basically threatens Mary Poppins, and she persuades him that if you are basically like not, approving of the way that I am handling the children, why don't you take them to the workplace? And so it's kind of like that reverse psychology she uses on him.
And why is he so upset that they're happy?
I guess he just thinks it's like a frivolous way to go through life.
But if they're okay, this makes me think that he's not the best dad, because if like they're not running away, he doesn't have to. It seems like they like Mary, and Mary likes the kids, or she'll never say her true feelings, but she's doing her job. The kids are doing great. Why would he have an issue with that? He'd rather them just be militant little quiet children.
Yeah, well, pretty much. I mean, that is what he wants them to be. That's why she's like, why don't you take them to work?
But it's such a bummer.
It is. And so that
whole scene is a bummer, really, because the kids think that he hates them.
Mm-hmm.
He's grumpy, even though everyone's going about their business, and the kids are doing great. The mom is still shuffling around. No, she doesn't know if she's going here nor there. She's late for a meeting. She doesn't know really where her kids are. Doesn't really care. She's just like, the whole scene's a downer.
I know. Glynis plays that really scattered mom thing like really, really well.
Oh no, she plays it great. But I'm just saying in general, like, if like at this point, no news is good news. If Mary's got them busy and they're doing fine, then that should just be like, he should just be fine with it. That's what I mean.
So she persuades him to take the children to his workplace the next day. That night, before the kids go to bed, she sings them a lullaby about a woman who sells bird food on the steps of St. Paul's Cathedral.
Feed the birds. That song, that's on my list.
As a song that makes you sad?
Yes. Even to this day, that song gets me choked up. It's just so beautiful. I don't know what the right word is. Melancholy.
Okay, yeah.
It's so beautiful, and it just takes me back to childhood, and I still cry about it.
Thoughts on Tuppence? When I was a kid, I didn't know what the heck that was. I was like, Tuppence? Is it from like Narnia?
Mr. Tuppence?
I had no idea. I was like, is it candy? I think I even looked it up. A variant of a 2p. The sum of 2 pennies. Note, 2p is usually used of 2 British pennies.
Wait, so is tuppence slang?
It just is a variant.
I know, but listen to the words. 2 pennies.
Tuppence is a British slang term.
Thank you.
That refers to a small amount of money, typically 2p.
Yeah, it's like someone saying the words so fast that it's not. 2 pence. It's tuppence.
Yeah, okay.
Look at me.
But we didn't have Google as kids. We just had an educational moment here, ladies and
We
gentlemen.
figured it out. Over the river and through the woods, but we got there.
So the next day at the bank, the children meet George's boss, the elderly Mr. Dawes. Mr. Dawes
Senior.
Sr., who advises Michael to invest his tuppence in the bank, ultimately snatching the coin out of Michael's hand. And Michael, of course, he freaks out, he demands it back, and other customers overhear the conflict. They all start demanding their money back. It causes like a giant, like, bank run of everyone going crazy. There's this song that's called Fidelity Fiduciary Bank. Also forgettable.
Not my favorite song.
Right? I will say, I did completely forget that Dick Van Dyke played also that senior bank boss character.
Like, you didn't realize it until you rewatched it? Or you didn't even know as a kid?
No, I didn't know as a kid. I definitely didn't know as a kid.
Okay.
But I'm saying when we were watching it recently, I was like, oh, I forgot that he's playing a dual role in this. And I know that we need some conflict in the movie, but it really slows down right here. And if I rewatched it, honestly, I think I'd skip over the bank scene.
Well, maybe as an adult watching it, was it bad advice that they wanted him to, like, save his money? Because, like, if they put... he's like a tiny child and he has his tuppence.
Well, I think there lies
Yeah.
that
Am I more of a
conversation.
cynic?
No, I just think that like, well, once again, we also do not have kids. So obviously you should save your money and not waste it on bird food to throw out to the pigeons. But then it's also part of his character, right? I guess it's part of the kid's character that he has like this sweet spot to him, this sweet side where it's like, I would
Oh,
rather
no, I would
spend...
probably want to do the same thing. But what I'm saying is they're trying to make these adults look like bad adults. But then if you really think about it, once he gets older, isn't he gonna
Need to save
have...
money.
No, he's gonna have money.
Yeah, oh, very true.
That's what I'm saying.
After the big bank run of like customers going crazy, Jane and Michael run away and find Bert, who is now working as a chimney sweep. And he escorts them home singing Chim Chim Cheree. And the three of them and Mary venture onto the rooftops where Bert dances with the other chimney sweeps to a song called Step in Time. Now, this scene, first of all, shout out to the creepy, like, Sweeney Todd beggar woman that's in the alley
Oh
that's
my
like
God.
trying to like grab for the kids
When
If
they're running away.
Yes, if anyone remembers that, literally, I will never forget that moment where like this like scary beggar woman is like lunging for the kids or like says something scary to it's so small but it's totally unforgettable. So
Was she really scary, or do you think it was kind of like in Snow White when it was just dark and she thought everything was evil? But
probably that.
like the poor lady was probably just hungry,
I
and they're
know.
like, they see her and she's like, "Ugh."
Well, they don't want a nanny that looks like that, so they probably ran away from her.
Maybe that was their old nanny.
Right? Oh no, unemployed now
Yeah.
on the streets.
That's sad.
And before we get to Step in Time, Bert actually has a really sweet conversation with the kids about how a father holds a lot in. Like, a dad holds a lot of his feelings in, holds a lot of his troubles in, and that sometimes it's hard for them to ask for help. And watching this now, a bit older, and, once again, not a father, but thinking about it, I'm sure that there are a lot of fathers still to this day that struggle with the man of the house mentality and not letting others see their weaknesses, especially their children. But I don't know, like, it's just like a special, like, little, like, shout out to that moment, because I feel like they found a good moment in there in this movie where they could speak about men and their feelings. I know, such a controversial subject, you guys. But yeah, no, shout out to the director for pulling that scene out, because now watching it older, a scene that maybe would have been so boring as a kid, I was like, wow, this is a really sweet moment.
And for it being the 60s, it seems like it's very ahead of its time, but it is so much more prevalent that we're trying to like normalize it, that it is okay as a man to have feelings, and if you need to cry, don't hold it in, different things like that. There are still people that are probably against that, that think that it's not masculine, but it's just very interesting that this movie's from 1964 and that conversation was happening.
So, Chim Chim Cheree. I like it. Step in Time, not my favorite. On it,
This is becoming a recurring theme with you. Do you like any songs from Mary Poppins?
um,
Because
well,
it's been like 5 in a row that hate
no,
it.
I Love to Laugh. That's a great song, and I do really love Jolly Holiday.
So let's talk about why you hate Mary Poppins. No, I'm just kidding.
Honestly, though, like I think everything about Step in Time is really it's done very well. Choreography is great. It is a long scene, and maybe on stage I appreciate it more than in the film. But yeah, I'm not into it. It's fun when Mary goes out there and dance and like boot scoots around with them. Like that's really charming and fun, but other than that, it's not my favorite. It's kind of a fast forward moment to me.
Well, I won't say that it's my favorite song, but I think that, yeah, like you said, if I was listening to like a Disney compilation of different famous Disney songs, I don't think that I would sit there in my car and like listen to Step in Time. But watching it, the choreography, the sets, the soot, everything about it is very cool to look at. But yeah, it's not
You're
the
not stopping on the soundtrack for it.
no. Well, I don't think I'm listening to the soundtrack.
So tell me why you hate Mary Poppins.
No, I don't hate Mary Poppins. I just it wouldn't be the first. It wouldn't be a soundtrack that I would listen to. It would if songs came up on like a Disney compilation, there would be some that I would listen to, and there would be some that I don't. But in general, I do like Mary Poppins. I think that rewatching it and actually sitting down and like taking notes to talk about it, it has made me think that you can really tell that it is based off of a kid's book series, because the little adventures that they go on, they are very episodic. It's almost like each scene is a vignette, or each adventure is a little I kept going, I wonder if this was an actual book or if this was a chapter in the book, because each little scene seemed very episodic to a children's series.
Yeah, I could see that. We mentioned the cute powdering her nose with like the soot. That's really
It was very cute.
and
And
also
it's her same compact. It's just it opened up and it was black instead of white.
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And the
Magic.
the smooth like cloud steps that she makes with her magic is also really really cool.
When they
That is quintessential Disney magic to me, by the way. The cloud
the cloud steps,
yes,
that was very cool.
so cool.
But going back to the beginning of the scene, because I forgot to say this, when they pop out of the chimney, the little doll, I believe it's a doll that they used for Michael, that is like nightmare fuel. It's so, I don't know if you noticed it when we were watching it, but it is so creepy, that weird little Michael doll, that it hated it. It is going to give me nightmares.
So instead of a stunt double, they used a stunt dummy.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, it had to be.
Looked like it.
It had to be.
Another one of Mary Poppins' classic outfits. I will say that it was a very bold choice for her to choose a pink shoe with her red outfit. So, she was a fashionista. It was very bold.
Seems very Ginger Rogers of me. of her.
Yeah, I liked it.
After the whole rooftop scene, George later receives a phone call from the bank requesting a meeting with him regarding Michael's actions and the whole like bank eruption that happened. And the children overhear the phone call, and obviously they become concerned after Bert's, advice that they had with them. And Bert advises George to spend a little bit more time with Jane and Michael before they grow up. There's this song that's called A Man Has Dreams. And, hoping to make amends, Michael gives George the tuppence. So it's really sweet how, he's giving his dad the tuppence as like a way of, saying like, I'm sorry for today and everything that has happened. After Michael gives his dad the tuppence, he ends up going to the meeting, and basically George is on the chopping block, and he has this meeting with all of like the bank heads, like the board members. And before he gets fired, or as he gets fired, he exclaims Mary Poppins word, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and he tells a joke Uncle Albert had told the children. And he basically like walks home happy, not caring, not a care in the world. When Mr. Dawes Sr. understands the joke, he ends up floating up into the air laughing. By now, the father completely has changed his attitude. He was initially skeptical and weirded out by Mary Poppins, and tries to, of course, maintain a strict, rational approach to everything, to parenting. However, through Mary's influence, we get to this point where Mr. Banks has softened, and he's realized the importance of love and fun and family.
Oh. So he has a nervous breakdown,
Right?
and he
Almost got fired, or got fired.
No, he got fired.
It took all that to now appreciate that, wow, maybe my children do mean a lot more.
He doesn't have a job, so now he thinks he can spend time with his kids.
So they end up, he like mends the children's kite for them and takes the family out to fly it at some park. It's a very like the family is like coming together moment. And there's a song, Mr. Dawes' son is there, and he reveals that his father died, laughing at the joke that Mr. Banks had said. And Mr. Dawes Jr. says that his father had never been happier, and, gratefully rehires Mr. Banks. And actually, he promotes him at the end. He gives him like a better position now. So
you killed my dad.
Yeah,
but he was super happy, laughing. So
I'm going to rehire you.
Yeah.
And give you a promotion. And Mary ends up, watching the family from a distance as she basically decides that her work is done. So let's go fly a kite.
Is that a song?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Forgettable, right?
Yes.
Right? I know. I feel I like the score more of this movie than I actually like a lot of these songs.
Yeah, some of them they're not hot breakout hits.
Yeah, some of them kind of feel like placeholders even. So Mary, she decides like my work here is done. And while she's out on the porch, her parrot umbrella starts to talk to her. And I feel like this is a mischaracter. Like, I don't know why the parrot umbrella only gets this small little cameo at the end of the movie, because like this could have been a character throughout the entire movie. They could have hired a really funny comedian to basically be this like Iago from Aladdin type character. I mean, imagine like a Gilbert Gottfried type of a voice coming out of this parrot, and basically,
well, he was
like,
already Uncle Albert, but he would have been a really funny voice.
That could have been a double cast role. Why not? Why not? Yeah, I feel cheated with the parrot umbrella.
That was the first time that he talked, right?
Right? Yeah, unless we're missing it, people will remind us, but I don't recall him ever being in any of the other parts of the movie. I just feel a little cheated. So Mary flies away at the end with her umbrella, not on a broomstick, everyone. And Bert looks up and says, "Goodbye, Mary Poppins. Don't stay away too long." She never says goodbye, but she leaves an impression on everyone.
I love that last scene, or her last look, because there is a similarity between her and what Bert was talking about with the dad. Like, she is pleasant, but she doesn't overly give away her feelings. Like, she doesn't tell the kids that she loves them. She doesn't give them, like, you know, hugs and snuggles. Like, she's strict, but she's strict in a different way, because she still lets them have fun, but she wants things done.
Yeah, I mean, technically, the dad should have been like happy that he had somebody like Mary Poppins. Well,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, he was at the end,
He
but
figured it out.
but you're right. Yeah, she is strict in a different type of style that makes the
Mm-hmm.
kids learn and be respectful.
But I do love that last look, because you can tell that even though she'll never say it and never admit it, that she was genuinely sad. Like, she did have a soft spot for these kids, and maybe she does for all of her kids that she looks after, but you can tell that it's hard for her once her job is done.
To have to go to the next family to fix
Yeah,
them.
but she can't say it, or she won't admit it, but she was sad. And
And
it's a sweet moment.
and clearly like she's magical, so she obviously like doesn't age or anything like that. That's what my guess is. My guess, she's like always this like ethereal type of being and age, and that's how I see it.
No, in between families, she just goes and gets a touch up.
Yeah, and her magical facelift and just looks the same.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of picture it.
All right, and that concludes 1964's Mary Poppins. So we've gone over the movie from beginning to end. What would you say that your favorite overall thing about this film is?
I'm gonna say probably the actors. I think that
Well, who was your favorite actor?
I think Dick Van Dyke's comedy and Julie Andrews' comedy style, they were all great across the board. I think the acting in general was really, really solid for this movie, right on down to these very, very small featured roles of like the cook and
Mm-hmm.
the housekeeper. I mean, everyone was really, really funny, in my opinion.
They were all solid.
Yeah, the acting is probably my favorite thing about this movie. I'd say a second runner up would be the score. I think it's a beautiful score.
It is. It's
Overture.
very pretty.
What was your favorite overall thing about the film?
I love, similar to you, I love the acting. It's kind of an obvious choice, but I do love Mary Poppins and I do love Bert. But I especially love their scenes together. Like I said earlier, I love their chemistry together. Even more than her scenes with the kids, I love her scenes with Bert. Okay, so going on from favorite, what is your least favorite thing about the movie?
Probably 80% of the songs.
So which songs did you like?
Love Jolly Holiday.
Okay.
And Love to Laugh has always made me laugh. Yeah, not a lot of them. Not a lot of them. Chim Chim Tree is a really, really pretty song, but the other ones kind of feel like placeholder songs. 80% of them are not my favorite.
um, what is my least favorite? I kind of brought it up already, but the overall plot, I think that everything about the movie is so solid, but in general, the way the plot flows, you can tell that it was a children's book series, and it almost could have been a TV show. Like, if it was a Mary Poppins TV show in the 60s and each of those scenes was an episode, it would be very much like Bewitched or like I Dream of Jeannie. Like,
I feel that.
what's this magical nanny gonna get us into this episode?
I feel that.
So did it all, was the movie overall, it's a very good solid movie, yes, but watching it and reviewing it, it did come off a little bit more episodic. So maybe I would have loved it if it was a TV show.
Do you feel that there is a legacy of Mary Poppins that has impacted the culture? or you? I mean, do you feel like that it has like the same presence or stamp on it than other type of like other movies?
Well, I think that the legacy of Mary Poppins would be Julie Andrews. Like, if that makes any sense.
I think it makes
Like,
sense. Yes.
people love Julie Andrews, and this is one of her most well-known roles. Like, you think of Julie Andrews, you think of Mary Poppins, you think of Maria von Trapp, you think of Victor Victoria,
You even think of the Princess Diaries.
thoroughly modern Millie.
I mean, she has gone on for just so long in these great roles.
And for this to be her first film, like, way to knock it out of the park. Cool way to start her film career with Mary Poppins, one of her most iconic.
I know that it was a Broadway musical, and I know that they made a sequel to the movie.
You mean it was turned into a Broadway musical?
Yeah, like I mean, I know it's had like its adaptations and sequels.
We don't have to talk about the sequel. Disney fans, don't come for us. It just was not that good.
It really wasn't. Okay, so that brings us to the conclusion of Mary Poppins. We hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode. We will be spinning our wheel now to see what movie is going to be for our next episode. Ready, babe? Here we go.
All right. Oh, okay. Okay, I like this one. So, the next movie that we'll be reviewing off of the 25 best movie musicals is going to be Chicago.
Very cool, especially because it's more of a modern movie musical.
Yes.
Since we just did, two more classic musicals like this, that's cool that it's a more of a modern one. So awesome.
I know, I'm so excited. I love this movie.
Okay, so everyone, make sure you go watch Chicago before our next episode. That way you can follow along with us.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good one.